Can you believe it? My boyfriend actually wants proof of my virginity. I'm Ivy, and I first met Josef by pure accident. I was at a cafe all dressed up, ready to impress a Tinder date. However, after 30 minutes of waiting, I realized I'd been ghosted and was about to leave when the dark-haired barista approached me. Heading back to school, he asked. Excuse me? Oh, not quite. I was trying to be a sexy schoolgirl for a hot guy who just stood me up. He raised an eyebrow and smiled playfully. Looks like he missed out then. Hi, I'm Josef. Nice to meet you. I'm interested. Ivy. We ended up exchanging Instagrams and messaged back and forth for a while before arranging to go on our own official first date. Of course, I decided to wear my little schoolgirl number again, remembering how it had impressed Josef the first time we met. But when he arrived to pick me up, his expression quickly turned to disgust. You're not wearing that, are you? What do you mean? I thought you liked this outfit. You look like a prostitute. I don't want to date a girl who looks like she sleeps around. Too shocked to argue, I ran back inside and changed into something more modest. Thankfully, the rest of the date went well, and our relationship grew from there. We fell for each other pretty quickly. Josef was romantic, generous, and took every opportunity to publicly declare his love for me. Occasionally, he would check my phone and question me about who I was texting, but I didn't think too much of it, because otherwise, things were perfect. His family turned out to be loving too, and were easy to get along with. They were pretty religious, though, and seemed to have this weird hang-up about female purity. I knew it meant a lot to Josef too. He had seemed relieved when I told him I was a virgin and that I was fine to wait until marriage. So yeah, when the man of my dreams eventually asked me to marry him, you can imagine how quickly I said yes. We had set a date and wedding preparations were well underway by the time his parents arranged a dinner, so I could meet the rest of his extended family. But it was that night after dinner as we sat out in the garden when Josef dropped the bombshell. You know how important your innocence is to me? I've saved myself for my bride and I expect her to do the same for me, he said. Josef, I interrupted. I already told you I'm a virgin. Every girl says that and they lie. In my family, it's traditional for the bride to be inspected by a gynecologist before the wedding to confirm it. I'd like you to do this too. Excuse me? I gasped, stunned. It's no big deal. All the women in my family have done it. My mother, my sisters, even my grandmother. If you have nothing to hide, what's the problem? This isn't the Dark Ages, Josef. I'm not letting anyone poke around my private parts just because you don't believe me. Josef's face reddened. You're just like all the others. I'm not marrying a whore. In absolute disbelief, I ran out to my car and drove home with tears streaming down my face. When I arrived, a message had come through from him saying, if you love me, you'll do the test. I love Josef so much, but now I really don't know what to do. Do I humiliate myself to prove my purity to him and his family? Or is this just a big red flag telling me that I should forget him? Subscribe and let me know in the comments below.